everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are well and you are safe and you are with someone you care about who also cares about you. Apologies for the wind and the windswept hair. It has started blowing quite hard here at the house. I was just kind of picking up some apples. We still haven't harvested all our apples. Let me show you. So some of these apples are still on the tree and they're still doing incredibly well. You can see some of them have been eaten, but some of them not so much. Some of them are doing great and some of them need a little bit more growing before I can harvest them. Some are wind falling, but these two I just picked and they are looking lovely and they're smelling amazing. So, and we've still got some apples up there on the big tree up there, and I've been kind of gradually trying to harvest them and putting them in the fridge. We've had so many apples this year that I'm trying not to be selfish about it and trying to, have as many apples as I want, and then keeping the rest for other critters in the area who want them. Meanwhile, over here, you'll see that my parsnips are looking very windswept, but do not be disheartened, because parsnips are very bizarre like this. At this time of year, they very often end up getting completely flattened. And then as the winter grows, they carry on growing, which is a bit counterintuitive, but that is exactly what happens. My grapes are doing okay. We didn't get any grapes actually fruiting this year, so I'm hoping that we can, plant them before the spring next year. But if you look over here, you can see the number of apples that we have here is quite large. There are also still large numbers of wasps, and so I'm being a little careful when I'm going around and checking on my apples. Some of the apples, as you can see, are rotting on the tree. I will need to pull some of those off, but I'm also coming to check. Yeah, my wasp's nest is gone, which is a good thing because I had a wasp's nest up there, and I was able to deal with the wasps and I got rid of them. But at the same point, I want to make sure that I don't damage anything on the watering system and I don't damage any other wildlife in the area. I just don't want yellow jackets all around. Interestingly, my potatoes have started growing again. So this is a potato that's clearly decided to grow, and I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. I don't anticipate that potato actually producing anything in the way of decent amounts of fruit, or roots, I suppose. But I am going to keep it there because, it's better to let it grow than to take it out and then not have anything growing in there. And that's ultimately what I'm looking at for this particular setup. Like I say, the wind is just abysmal right now. I'm going to put these apples there. I will pick them up in a moment. But let me show you what else is going on. As you can see, lots and lots of leaves are falling and blowing. Interestingly, some of these leaves are getting stuck in the back of the truck and they make a heck of a racket as I'm going down the road. So I need to sort of maybe wash the truck. Maybe. I'm going to show you something with the chicken coop and you're going to think there's been a murder, but I promise there hasn't been. This is just from all of the chicken molting that's been going on. They have stopped laying because they're molting. They are all alive and well. It's just that there's down everywhere from the chickens, which every time I come out and see it causes me to panic somewhat. And then I remember that they're molting and it's all okay. In the greenhouse, things are a little bit calmer. You can see most of my cucumbers have kind of given up for the season. I have one cucumber here that is continuing to be happy. It's next to the pepper plant. I don't know if that's got any connection. But then on this side, we've still got lots and lots of tomatoes producing. If you look down there, we do have some leaves dying, and I need to be careful that we don't get any diseased bits. But we have some tomatoes that are now ripening up quite nicely. And so, like tomorrow night, I will probably make a burger, an impossible burger with one of these lovely tomatoes in the mix. I try and grow most of my food. I try and cook most of the food. Most of my food I cook, I try and source locally. And we are at that point, as I think I talked about last week, where at the end of the season and things are really starting to slow down. And that includes, I think all of our strawberries have now gone. I haven't had any strawberries since the start of the week. As you can see, my peas are done. My pumpkins are kind of looking a little forlorn. But the nice thing about pumpkins is you can leave the pumpkins until the plant itself has died off, and then you can just pick the pumpkins off. So I've got some down there. We've got another one down there. We've got this wonderful marrow, and I'm calling that a marrow. It's a zucchini, but it's grown to marrow size. So we're going to have that probably maybe over this weekend, maybe next weekend, as a stuffed mock duck, which is an English dish. Stuffed marrow is effectively what you call it. And you can do that with vegetarian stuff as well as meat if you so wish. Meanwhile, in here, you've got a zucchini here or a courgette. We've got another couple hiding there. But I think, and that's the topic of today's video, I think we've reached the end with our raspberries. So if you look here, the raspberries are starting to look a little bit sorry for themselves. We've got some overripe raspberries, some fruit dying on the plant because I haven't been able to keep up. And I think we're pretty much done. So I think this weekend, and much as it pains me because I've been having raspberries most mornings this week, I think what I'm going to have to do is come in and cut all the raspberries back before we get super cold weather. Temperatures in the evening are now getting down to sort of 5-6 degrees Celsius. We haven't had any frosts yet, but I do want to deal with the raspberries before we have a frost, because doing so after is a bit problematic. So we're going to be working on that. And to finish off, I want to tell you a little bit about a project I'm working on right now. So I don't remember if I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but we had a waterer here. We had a waterer that we bought online. It's basically a tall, I think it's a 2-gallon waterer. And my wife modified this so that I could fill up the water, and the water, you know, the chickens can go in there and do the water. I thought Charlie was going to nip my finger there, but obviously they can go through that hole. Now I 3D printed these off. I designed them myself and 3D printed them. They have survived. The actual water feeder, water container has survived, but the bottom of it didn't. It started to leak. And so I have 3D designed, and I'm waiting to get the right filament to 3D print a new bottom to the water system so that it doesn't leak. And then I thought, you know, I really need some kind of system that I can interface so I know if it's full or not, because it's not see-through. So it's you can't see into it. You have to take the lid off and look. And I thought, well, what if I just put a little solar panel on there, and then I used a time of flight sensor. So that's now a new side project for me. And I know I'm a little bit notorious for my side projects, but I have ADHD. I'm allowed to have side projects. No eggs. They are still molting. I thought I'd check, but no eggs. We haven't had any eggs for about a week now. So it'll probably be another week or two before they start laying again. If in fact they do start laying again before the spring, because they might have just given up now. Which will be sad, but that's not completely unusual. I was at the feed store the other day and they had some chicks in stock, and I was tempted, but my wife said, let's wait until the summer. And I think she's probably right. Let's wait until the spring, at least. Maybe not the summer. But I'll wait until the spring before we get some more chicks. And I think we do need to get some more chicks. We've reached that point now where our hens are a little bit old. I don't expect many of them to survive another year, so I think it might be time to get some new littlins to put in, as long as they all play nice with each other. Anyway, tell me what's going on in your garden. Is your garden looking a little bedraggled as the autumn approaches? Or maybe you're in the southern hemisphere and you're just starting to see the first proper signs of spring. Tell me all about it in the comments, which, as a reminder, are not in the down below anymore. They are on our website, they are Mastodon, they are Blue Sky, and of course you can also reach out to us on our website. and Discord. So be kind, be awesome. I'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching us today. You can connect with us on Patreon, Discord, Mastodon, Blue Sky, or through our website. Huge thanks to the amazing folks scrolling by right now. You're the reason we can stay independent and keep making content without corporate influence. And right now is a perfect time to join. Through September and October, we're running our autumn Patreon drive. Sign up and you'll not only support the channel, but you'll also get an exclusive piece of digital art from Erin. Want to see your name here too? Support starts at just $1.50 US a month, and you can even gift memberships. And of course, a massive welcome to our newest members: NYTMR, Chris Wright, C&K Adventuring, Andy Pyatt, Gerald Eden, Carlie, Chip Chandler, Robert Nelson, 00 Critical, Tom Fagden, Barry 2379, Mike Coffeen, James River, Eric Knack, Hans Rose, DW, Meryl Fratkin, Kristen Rasmussen, MX Menivar Vargas, Stephen Nichols, Panther Legion, Kit Saprida, Bark Eater J, Jeff Good, Conrad Zalance, Frank Snyder, Jeffrey Smith, Tony Roberts, Matthew Frake, Jacqueline Cockburn, Fritz Coker, Trans Vegan Cyclist, Jade Diaz, Laura Shear-Clark, Everett Garnett, Peter Broadwell, Jerry, Jeremy Redmond, Patrick Matthias, Pamela Not Pam, Dave Fry, Mark Anderson, Tal Hobson, C. Daniel Tideman, Martin May, Fee, Donovan, Date Downs, Matthew Buckar, Zach C., Taraki, Kathy Windandy, Alex, Patricia Connor, Lindy Melendez, Dameron Can, Gary Robotham, Dave Miles, Tina Ponish, Mark Kruger, and Tyler Walker. Thank you all for joining in the last month. You're helping us hit our goal of growing Patreon support by 20 to 40% this autumn. Prefer a one-off contribution? We've got Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and a PO box, our swag store, and even an Amazon affiliate link, so your money helps us, not Jeff Bezos. We post new videos every few days on the main channel, plus extras on Transport Evolved Take 2. And since YouTube comments aren't safe for us anymore, the best way to chat is through Patreon, Mastodon, Blue Sky, or our website. If you want more, the algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we'd love you to check this one out too. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and never forget to resist. Keep evolving.